I used to trust my wife. No questions, no doubts, just full-on, blind trust. But lately, shit started to feel off. She got real weird with her phone, clutching it like it was some kind of damn life support. And these late nights? More and more of work, she said. Always fkin work. It started small. Little things I almost missed. The way she'd angle her screen away when I walked into the room. How she'd slip into the bathroom to take calls. The subtle shift from wearing her usual cotton pajamas to sleeping in nothing but one of my old t-shirts. I told myself I was being paranoid. Jealousy's an ugly thing, and we'd been together 8 years. 8 goddamn years of building something I thought was unbreakable. Babe, you coming to bed? I called out one night, watching her typing away on her phone in the living room, legs tucked under her, hair falling across her face. That little smile playing at her lips, a smile that used to be just for me. Just finishing some emails, she said, not even looking up. Go ahead. Don't wait up. That was the first night I lay awake until 2 a.m., listening to her laughing softly in the other room, wondering who the hell was on the other end of those emails. Our sex life had dried up too. Used to be we couldn't keep our hands off each other. Now. I couldn't remember the last time she'd reached for me in the dark. When I tried, she'd turn away. I'm tired, she'd mumble. Big day tomorrow. Always tomorrow. Never today. Never us. Then last week, she stumbles in close to 5 a.m., reeking of cheap cologne and whiskey, laughing like nothing's wrong. I was sitting in the dark living room, nursing a beer that had gone warm hours ago. Waiting. Jesus, she gasped, flipping on the light. You scared me. What are you doing up? Wondering where my wife's been until 5 in the morning, I said, keeping my voice steady even though my insides were churning acid. God, don't start. The team closed the Hensley account. We were celebrating. She kicked off her heels, swaying slightly. You could have texted if you were worried. I did. 3 times. She pulled out her phone, squinting at it. Oh. Sorry. It was loud in there. Too loud to feel it vibrating in that tiny purse plastered to her side all night. Right. You smell like cologne, I said flatly. Her eyes narrowed. What, are you checking me for other men now? Real classy, Jake. She stormed off to the shower, leaving me sitting there, feeling like the asshole even though she was the one walking in at dawn smelling like another man's skin. I wanted to believe her. God knows I tried. But that night, man, that night nailed the coffin shut. I'm laying in bed, finally starting to drift off, when her phone buzzes. Nearly 3 in the goddamn morning. The blue light cutting through the darkness of our bedroom. She's passed out next to me, wine-drunk and dead to the world. I stare at it. I know I shouldn't. 8 years of trust screaming at me to roll over and go back to sleep. But jealousy's a nasty beast, and this one had been clawing at my guts for weeks. So I checked. One message. From some unknown number. My thumb hovers over it for a second. This is the moment, right? The point of no return. Once I know, I can't unknow. But the not knowing was already killing me, turning me into someone I didn't recognize, suspicious, angry, hollow. I open it. And boom. Last night was amazing. Can't stop thinking about that red lingerie, you looked so damn hot in it, sweetheart. Hope you work late again soon. My stomach drops into some cold, dark place. Red lingerie. She hadn't worn lingerie for me in years. Said it was uncomfortable. Impractical. But for him? For him, she'd dress up like a present waiting to be unwrapped. My hands were shaking. I couldn't breathe. The words blurred as tears burned at the corners of my eyes. I blinked them back. Hard. I wasn't going to cry over someone who could lie to my face day after day, night after night. I looked over at her, sleeping like a damn baby, like she wasn't out there embarrassing me while our bed stayed cold. Her face so peaceful, lips slightly parted. I used to kiss those lips like they were sacred. Now all I could think about was where they'd been. The worst part? I still loved her. Even as the rage built in my chest, even as I scrolled through her messages and found dozens more, each one a new knife in my back, some broken part of me still wanted to shake her awake and beg her to tell me it wasn't true. That there was an explanation. That I was still enough. But I wasn't. That was clear now. I didn't scream. I didn't wake her up. Hell no. I got up, walked into the kitchen, and sat down to think. Not cry. Not beg. Think. Our wedding photo stared at me from the refrigerator. Her in white, me in black, both of us grinning like we'd just discovered the secret to happiness. What a joke. I ripped it down, the magnet clattering to the floor. She wanted to sneak around behind my back. Make me out to be some clueless husband while she played dress up for another man. All right. Game on. First thing I did was pull every bit of dirt I could from her phone. Screenshots. Names. Times. Places. Sent it all to myself. There were dozens of messages going back 3 months. 3. Fucking. Months. While I was working overtime to save for the house she kept talking about, she was working late all right, working her way into another man's bed. The messages made me sick. Details about what they'd done. Places they'd gone, restaurants I couldn't afford, hotels paid on his corporate card. Inside jokes about me. He doesn't suspect a thing. He's clueless. Poor Jake. Poor Jake. That's what I was to them. The sad sack at home, too stupid to see what was happening right under his nose. I poured myself a whiskey. Then another. The alcohol burned, but not enough to numb the humiliation seeping into my bones. By sunrise, I had a plan. Not some half-cocked revenge fantasy. Something cold. Calculated. Final. I found the guy through her contacts, Richard Townsend. Worked in the same firm as her, just a few floors up. Executive track. Country club membership. Silver BMW. I dug deeper. Social media, LinkedIn, company website. Professional portrait of a man with salt and pepper hair and the kind of confidence money buys. Married, too. Of course he was. Wife named Patricia. 2 teenage kids. Private school, from the looks of the uniforms in their family photos. Rich probably thought he could have it all, trophy wife at home, my wife in some seedy hotel room. Not anymore. I reached out to his wife. Found her email through a charity she chaired. Sent her everything. The messages. The hotel receipts I'd found in my wife's purse and photographed weeks ago, telling myself I was crazy for being suspicious. No commentary, no warnings. Just facts. Within an hour, my phone buzzed with an unknown number. Is this Jake? A woman's voice, tight with controlled fury. Speaking. This is Patricia Townsend. I think we need to talk. We met at a coffee shop across town. She was exactly what I expected, expensively maintained, diamond studs in her ears that could probably pay off my car. But her eyes were red-rimmed, and her hands shook as she set down her purse. How long have you known? She asked without preamble. Just found out for sure last night. Been suspecting for weeks. She nodded, lips pressed into a thin line. 15 years of marriage. 2 children. And he throws it away for, she stopped, seemed to remember who she was talking to. I'm sorry. That's not. Don't apologize, I cut her off. They're the ones who should be sorry. What are you going to do? She asked. I told her my plan. By the time we left that coffee shop, we had a pact. No mercy. No warnings. Just consequences. After that, I printed a few of those sweet little messages and slid them into an envelope. Left it on her car seat with a note, "Next time you wear red, don't forget your dignity." I wanted her to know I knew. Wanted her to feel that kick in the gut I'd been feeling for weeks. When I got home that night, she was sitting at the kitchen table. Envelope in front of her. Face pale. Eyes wide. "Jake," she started, voice breaking. "I can explain." "Save it," I said, keeping my voice flat. "I'm not interested in whatever story you've cooked up. It's not what you think. Richard and I." I laughed. Couldn't help it. The audacity. "Richard," I repeated. "First name basis with your boss, huh? Does his wife call you by your first name too? Patricia, right? Pretty woman. Met her today." All the blood drained from her face. "You what?" "We had a really nice chat. Comparing notes. Sharing evidence." "Evidence," she whispered. "Everything, Kate. The texts. The hotel receipts. Those late meetings that never showed up on the company calendar. The lingerie receipt I found in your purse 3 weeks ago that I told myself was for us, even though you never wore it for me." She was crying now. Those tears I would have done anything to stop before now felt like victory. "Jake, please. I made a mistake. A terrible mistake. But I love you. You have to believe that." The worst part? Some small, pathetic part of me wanted to pull her into my arms and tell her we could fix this. But then I remembered the messages. How they laughed at me. Poor Jake. "Here's what's going to happen," I said, pulling out a chair across from her. "You're going to pack a bag and go stay with your sister. I need time to figure out what I want." She nodded eagerly, relief washing over her face. "Of course. Whatever you need. And we can talk. Maybe see someone. A counselor or—" I didn't say I wanted to work it out, I cut her off. I said I need time to figure out what I want. The divorce paperwork. The house. The accounts. All of it. Her face crumpled. "Divorce? Jake, no. We can get past this. People make mistakes. Marriages survive affairs all the time." "Not this one," I said, standing up. "And by the way, Patricia's talking to a lawyer tomorrow. Seems like Richard has a lot to lose in a divorce. His company has a morality clause. Sleeping with subordinates. Big no-no. So not only is he losing his wife, his kids, half his money, he's probably losing his job too." She stared at me, mouth open. You ruined his life. Just like that." "No, Kate. You did. Both of you. Actions have consequences." She didn't say a word. Neither did I. But she knew. She fkin knew. And I wasn't done yet. After she left, sniffling and dragging a hastily packed suitcase, I called our landlord, told him I was breaking the lease, said she could keep the apartment since she liked being alone at night so much. Packed my stuff while she was still at work the next day. Left the key on the counter. And walked out. No goodbye. No yelling. Just silence. Because sometimes, silence screams louder than rage. I crashed at my buddy Mike's place for a week. Didn't tell him what happened, just that Kate and I were taking some space. I couldn't stand the pity that would come with the truth. Poor Jake, too blind to see his wife was screwing around. The divorce papers were delivered to her at work. I made sure of that. Let her colleagues see. Let them whisper. Let Richard see what was coming for him too. She called. Dozens of times. Texts piled up that I never read. Emails with subject lines that grew increasingly desperate. Please talk to me, I'm so sorry, I never meant to hurt you, can we just talk? I didn't respond to any of them. What was there to say? The life I thought we had was a lie. The future I'd been saving for was gone. All those nights I stayed late at the office, thinking I was building something for us, she was with him. All those times I swallowed my suspicions, telling myself I was being insecure, I was right all along. 3 weeks after I left, I met them coming out of the elevator at my lawyer's office. Kate looked like shit, hair pulled back in a messy ponytail, dark circles under her eyes. Richard looked worse. The confident executive was gone, replaced by a man whose life was imploding. They stopped dead when they saw me. Richard had the nerve to step forward, hand outstretched. Jake, I know this is. I walked past him like he was invisible. Heard Kate call my name, her voice breaking. Kept walking. In the conference room, my lawyer raised an eyebrow. Awkward encounter. Nothing I can't handle, I said, pulling out the newest set of papers. Let's make sure this is airtight. I don't want a single loose end. Kate didn't fight the divorce. Signed everything without argument. I got the savings I'd built, she kept her retirement account. Clean break. No alimony. No shared custody of pets or property. Just 2 signatures severing 8 years like they never happened. I heard through the grapevine that Richard lost his job. Patricia took him for everything in the divorce. He had to sell the BMW. Downsize from the suburban mansion to a 1-bedroom apartment. Karma's a bitch. As for Kate. Last I heard, she moved back home with her parents. The affair fizzled once it wasn't secret anymore. Once the real world intruded on their fantasy. Me. I moved to another state. New job. New apartment. New life. I don't wear my ring anymore. Don't talk about her when people ask if I'm married. Just say I'm not the marrying kind. Simpler that way. Sometimes, late at night, I still wake up reaching for her. Still smell her perfume in dreams. Still feel that knife twist when I remember how easily she threw us away. But those moments get fewer. The anger burns less hot. I still have those screenshots. Those messages. Sometimes, when I'm feeling masochistic, I read them. Reminder of how blind trust is for fools. How love is just another way to get hurt. People ask if I regret how I handled it. If I wish I'd tried to save the marriage. If I think about forgiveness. Hell no. Some betrayals cut too deep for second chances. Some wounds never heal clean. And sometimes, the only way forward is to burn it all down and walk away without looking back. I used to trust my wife. Never again.